In 2000, the Kamiso-Shigeya neighborhood of Setagaya, in the western suburbs of Tokyo, Japan, was a quiet residential area where nothing much ever really happened. Here there were few houses, with wide open spaces and plenty of quiet compared to the bustling neon-painted metropolis of Tokyo just a stone's throw away. Here a humble office worker by the name of Mikio Miyazawa lived with his wife, Yasuko, and their 2 children, 8-year-old Nina and 6-year-old Rei. They lived in a modest house with few neighbors, one of them being Yasuko's older sister, and her mother, with Anne's husband away overseas. Indeed, most of the residents had moved out of the area, as Tokyo had been planning to incorporate it into the nearby Setagaya Park, leaving only a few houses remaining. They lived a perfectly normal life, some might even say mundane, but dark clouds were looming for the Miyazawas, and they were about to become the center of one of the most mysterious and gruesome unsolved mysteries Japan has ever seen. On December 31, 2000, Yasuko's mother, Haruko, came by to visit after failing to reach the family over the phone, but no one seemed to be at home. After ringing the doorbell and shouting out to her daughter, she let herself in, thinking that they must have stepped out and would be back soon. She entered and was soon met by the horrific sight of Mikio lying dead on the first floor, right next to the stairs. He was covered with blood and had evidently been stabbed numerous times. The panicked woman then went around shouting out to her daughter and grandchildren, only to find them dead as well, with Yasuko and Nina also both brutally stabbed, while Rei had been strangled to death. In a fit of horror and panic, Haruko contacted police and they arrived on the scene a short time later to find all manner of weird clues and pieced together a sinister chain of events. The police launched a massive investigation. The crime was extremely ghastly, the scene was bloody and gruesome. The body of Mikio was found at the staircase landing on ground level. A 3mm knife tip was found in his skull, at the upper side of left ear. His right thumb was severed. His head, neck, chest, arms, legs, and bottom were stabbed multiple times. On the stairway of the second floor were the wife Yasuko and daughter Nina. Yasuko's body overlaid Nina's. It seems that Yasuko tried to use her body to shield and protect Nina. Yasuko's face was stabbed multiple times, her throat was slit. Her neck suffered many lacerations that revealed some bones. There were too many cuts until her face was disfigured. The 8-year-old Nina suffered multiple stabs in her face and neck. She also had traces of being battered too. In the bedroom of the second floor, the 6-year-old Rei was found on the lower deck of the double-decker. He had a deep stria on the neck from strangulation. His bloodshot eyes and bloody nose showed that the killer was very strong. There was no sign of struggle. Most likely he was killed in his sleep. The forensic analysis on the food residue in their stomach indicated the time of death should be the night of December 30th, around 11:30 p.m. A footprint was found outside and under the bathroom window. Part of the plants had been trampled down. The first aid kit in the house was opened. In the kitchen found band-aids and towels with the killer's blood and fingerprint. The killer even used sanitary pads to stop his bleeding. The killer entered through the open window of the second-floor bathroom at the rear of the house, located immediately adjacent to Setagaya Park, and gained access by climbing up a tree and then removing the window screen. The killer used his bare hands to strangle Rei, who was fast asleep in his room on the second floor, killing him through asphyxiation. Mikio rushed up the first-floor stairs after he noticed the commotion in Rei's room. There he fought and injured the killer, until being stabbed in the head with a sashimi knife. A police report claimed that part of the sashimi knife's blade broke off inside Mikio's head, and the killer then attacked Yasuko and Nina with the broken knife. The killer later ditched the blunt sashimi knife, and grabbed a santoku knife from Miyazawa's house to continue his slaughtering. According to the police reports, the killer remained inside the Miyazawa's house for 2 to 10 hours after he murdered them. While he remained inside the house, he was using the family computer, consuming barley tea, melon, and ice cream from their fridge, using their toilet and leaving his feces in it without flushing, treating his injuries using first aid kits and sanitary pads, and even taking a nap on a sofa in the second-floor living room. An analysis of Mikio Miyazawa's computer revealed that it had connected to the internet the morning after the murders at 1:18 a.m., and again at around 10 a.m., around the time Yasuko's mother entered the house and discovered the murders. Fingerprints of the killer were collected from the mouse. Authorities believe the killer had stayed in the house until at least 1:18 a.m., but the computer usage at 10 a.m. could have been accidentally triggered by Yasuko's mother during her discovery of the crime scene. Therefore, the police could not determine the exact time of the killer leaving the house. While in the house, the killer also rummaged through the cabinets and drawers. It was not certain if the killer was searching for a specific item or creating an illusion of robbery. The killer left a massive amount of evidence in the house, including the 2 knives he used to murder the family. The killer's fingerprints and blood were collected in the house, but both had no match in the database of the Tokyo police, indicating that the killer did not have a criminal record. The fingerprint was also submitted to Interpol for matching, but to no avail. Unfortunately, in 2000, Japan did not collect biometric info of all residents, except those with criminal records. The killer's blood is type A. No drugs or any unusual substance were found in the blood. DNA analysis indicated the killer is male and possibly mixed race, with maternal DNA of European descent, possibly from a South European country near the Mediterranean or Adriatic Sea, and paternal DNA indicating a father of East Asian descent. These results led the Tokyo police to seek assistance through the International Criminal Police, as the killer may not be Japanese or present in Japan. The killer's shoes were identified through footprints. The brand is Slazenger of size 10.8 inches. It was manufactured in South Korea. The largest size of this brand sold in the Japan market was only 10.2 inches. From October 1998 through November 2000, a total of 4,530 pairs were manufactured in Korea. Other than shoes, the killer also left behind other apparels. 1 Uniqlo Air Tech jacket, 1 gray Crusher hat, 1 unbranded scarf, 1 sweatshirt, 1 Edwin glove, 1 hip bag, 2 black handkerchiefs, one of which was cut in the middle with a 1.2-inch hole. The handkerchiefs and hip bag were sprayed with perfume manufactured by Guy Laroche in France. The killer only looted 200,000 yen, the equivalent of 1926 US dollars. Miyazawa's purses and credit cards were left intact. The mystery remains unsolved, and the police are currently offering a 20 million yen, the equivalent of 200,000 US dollars, as a reward to any person who can help to find clues that lead to a suspect or closure of the case. More than 250,000 police officers and investigators have been deployed for the investigation over the past 20 years, but the killer is still enjoying impunity for a good 2 decades. Every year on December 30th, the police would pay homage at the Miyazawa house, vowing to bring justice to the family.